Owens Jackson County Fair Manager for what
Retiring.
will be the last
Yes.
time in this role.
Yeah, but you know what? I have had a ton of fun on this show
Yes,
over the years.
we have had so much fun.
I even got the 30,000th guest mug.
That's
Yes, I did.
amazing.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. We've had a great relationship over the years. You've hooked us up with tickets. We've got to promote the shows, hang out. It's been a lot of fun. But I want to ask you, what was your favorite part of managing the fair and all of the grounds over the years?
Well, you know, it's the people, and I know that's a fun thing to say, it's the people, but it really is, because I grew up in 4-H, so the 4-H part of the fair has always been my favorite, and that ag piece is so important to the community and to the kids. So that is my favorite. My least favorite was all the stress of all of the big things that we did. Even though, you know, a lot of great memories, and the world changes, and it changed for the fair. But I am very, very happy to say that this year's fair was a success. I have a fun balance. I'm not, you know, not looking at any other colors, but so I'm excited about that, because there was some question, does the fair actually make money? Yes, the fair makes money.
Yeah, the fair does.
Yeah, it's just that we live in a different world with the big shows, and we've talked about that on other shows.
For sure.
Yeah, so.
Well, I talked to Karen last night, and Bart's so bummed not to be here for this interview, because you've been just such an intricate part of good things in our community, and they think the absolute most of you. So I'm sending you their love.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, because they are, you know, this show has been huge for the fair and what you guys have done over the years. And, you know, I will always have that memory of Bart's love of fair food, and upset that he could never come down and judge the pie contest, because it was always at 1 o'clock on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
So, Twin, what's your favorite part of the fair?
Well, the food, of course. You know, I love the food. We just showed the Fisk fries. Jennifer and I got to we got to go to the fair a couple times, do some filming of some segments.
Did you see me milk a goat?
We tried milking a goat, and I could never get the milk to come out. You know?
I know, and you know, they kind of talked about you afterwards too, how hilarious it was.
Well,
it was a folly episode.
Yeah, I mean, we were dressed going to a business meeting, not to go milk goats.
Not to milk goats, but you know, goats are the best. That really is.
Oh, look, there it is, right there. You know, it's funny they have that handy.
Yeah, that was faster than the David Rice.
The girl, it was her goat. I can't remember her name.
She's like, what is he doing?
She was ready to kill me.
Yeah.
She was like, you are terrible at this.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun.
That's great. And then baby pigs are always
very
very
stinking sweet.
And you know, this year, with some of the changes that were really positive, the birthing barn was one of them.
Yes.
Randy and Brandy Nealis took that over, and they're absolutely phenomenal people. But she was so excited about doing some changes in there, and so I was very pleased to see the results, and they're going to stay involved for many, many years to come.
Yeah,
so.
we had a chance to talk to her. She is awesome. What's a hidden gem at the fair, like for Fair Week? What's like a hidden thing that, you know, some people don't know about, but it's always great?
Well, the vendor, especially the outdoor vendors, the camaraderie that after fair closes down, that's always the best time for those of us that are stressed out all day long and trying to see and do. This year I was able to get to a number of 4-H shows, and you know, we have a lot of those folks that stay and camp just like some of our vendors. So they've all become huge family members and inviting each other to different barbecues and that kind of stuff. And not to take away from the fair food, but after you eat it, you know, by day 4, you're like, but fair food is the #1 reason that.
What's your all-time favorite food? All-time favorite. You can only get one item. You got a $10 bill on you.
It's always a corn dog, and I only eat one, and it's always the first day of the fair.
Do you dip it?
Mustard.
Mustard, yes, that's my girl.
Very
Yes.
good.
Yeah, I was down to the Hillsdale Fair, and my husband and some friends of ours, and my husband goes, "Okay, which corn dog are we having?"
What about? There's been so many musical acts over the years, right? And you know, you go down to Nashville, you meet these folks, you bring them back, you have relationships with them. Who's the all-time favorite?
Well, I have to say Toby Keith.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because he was my bucket list for so many years. And when it finally happened, but a funny story, when we initially started to get him, which was like 5 years prior to when we did, his road manager, who I say looks like Einstein, his hair straight out, and he was at one of the events, and our promoter was like, "Denise, I want you to come and talk to him," and I literally was begging him to get Toby to come. Well, he had been in probably had a few cocktails, and he was nuts, and his hair sticking up, and he's like, well, Denise, you better get me a baby seal. And I'm like, a baby seal? Well, I won't even tell you what he wanted, you know.
Oh my God.
It wasn't good, and I'll never forget that. So when I reminded a number of years later, my promoter said, remember you told her what you wanted to do to a baby seal.
Oh!
You have to come to
Oh
Jackson.
my gosh, unbelievable.
But it was really nice because, you know, what a wonderful family man. He had his wife and his grandkids backstage, and regardless if he knew, you know, had to have a red Solo cup. That is in his rider. So, and that was one thing that I didn't have a problem making sure he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some of the best memories. There's so many, and most of the time, 99% of the time, the talent is great.
Yeah.
Some of their support staff, like their managers, are not so.
They're the divas.
Pushy.
Oh, they are. We had a caterer that ended up in tears because this gentleman got really very direct about wanting to have it look differently than what it did, the catering tent, and those kind of things. And they're like, you know, and I went in there and I kind of said, these folks are, you know, they don't work for a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. And he called the promoter and said, I don't know who that woman was, but you fire her. I don't want to see her back here. And my promoter said, well, I could do that, but she's the one who would bring you your check, so I'm not sure.
Oh, that's funny.
And it was Sticks.
What? I was going to ask. I thought we would have to wait, but we got it.
You and I worked a concert together a couple years ago. We worked a little Night Ranger concert. The music business is interesting, isn't it? It's difficult. It really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people think that they are divas because everybody hears about the riders, and most of those riders are just stories for the most part.
Yeah.
But I can say that a few of them, it wasn't. And
Have you ever had to pull the orange M&Ms
Well, you know
out
why
of the
they ask
serving
for
bowl?
that, right? They say no green because they want to see if
you're paying
Denise
attention.
paid attention.
Right,
to
if,
the
if we
rider,
actually read it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I was one of these people that I'm not going to spend a ton of money on all these little. So no, we don't have that. We don't have that. Certain goat's milk that they wanted. Yeah.
It's fancy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to send a driver to Ann Arbor to Whole Foods to get.
Which is what we did. It is.
For a Night Ranger?
For some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone has their particular tastes, right? And routines. So I don't hate that so much.
Well, I was going to give them very organic because I told the manager, he came to me and said, we didn't have this brand. And I said, this brand was not available. And he got kind of loud. And I said, look, get on this cart. I'll take you to Barn 10. I will get you the most organic goat's milk that there is. And he didn't care for that either.
I bet not.
No.
Well, Denise, thanks so much for all the great stories, all the memories, and we wish you the very best in retirement.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm very excited about it, and my 4 grandbabies, too. So
Make sure you continue to check in with us for sure.
I certainly will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Denise Owens, retiring fair manager here on The Morning Show. We'll be right back after this quick break. Stay with us.